Hello friends, Goober Troy here from Squad Up Games, and welcome to our new series, Why You Should Be Playing. In this series, we highlight an aspect of a game and give a few quick reasons as to why you should give it a try. In today's video, we will be revealing the awesomeness that is Monster Hunter Rise's Gunlance. Let's jump right into reason 1. The first reason to play the Gunlance is, well, for the gun part. Gunlance Shelling will always deal the same damage, regardless of where you're hitting a monster. In addition, shells have no risk of causing the weapon to bounce off a monster when you hit a hard spot. This means wherever you're positioned on the monster, you'll always be able to consistently deal solid damage. For our second reason, the Gunlance's Silkbind attacks all feel so satisfying. The first Silkbind attack, Hail Cutter, causes your hunter to jump high in the air and follow up with a powerful ground slam. This slam, on top of dealing high damage, also allows the hunter to follow up with a full burst combo. If that's not satisfying enough, then perhaps the cooldown reduction on the Gunlance's biggest burst of damage, Wyvern Fire, will change your mind. The next Silkbind attack, Ground Splitter, is a replacement for Hail Cutter. This attack causes the hunter to dash forward, dragging the lance on the ground for a really cool attack animation. This attack also has armor, meaning you won't flinch at all if used during roars or when you're about to take damage. When performing this attack, the choice is up to the hunter with how they want to follow it up. For example, a quick-firing Worm Stake can be used immediately after the dash ends, or you can perform a Ground Slam into a full burst combo. The other effect of Ground Splitter is that it amplifies your shelling and Wormstake damage, playing more into that consistent damage aspect even more if you can sustain a high uptime on this buff. The last Silkbind is a counter, which has a few interactions provided you actually manage to counter the monster. First off, a successful parry increases your sharpness gauge. This is incredible because the Gunlance is a weapon that, in general, chews through sharpness. The other interesting thing about landing a parry is that you're able to follow it up with a quick-firing Wormstake or a full burst combo. Moving along to our third reason is the fact that the Gunlance is fairly team-friendly. We've all been in those groups with a longsword or a switch axe player and their constant tripping attacks. It's not a great time. The Gunlance, however, has no major disruptions to fellow hunters besides your Wyvern Fire Blast, but that has a long cooldown. Our fourth reason on why you should play the Gunlance is the build diversity. While every weapon in Monster Hunter has a lot of diversity, I'd argue the Gunlance can fit into many different playstyles. For example, the weapon has 3 different shelling types, long, normal, and wide. Normal, while it deals the least amount of shelling damage, it has the most shelling capacity. This makes it a perfect option to utilize the full burst playstyle, which revolves around constantly dumping all of your shells into a monster to do big burst damage. On the contrary, wide shelling deals big damage with each shell, however it has the least capacity. This makes it better for a charged shelling playstyle than the other shelling types. Lastly, long shelling is somewhere in between normal and wide, and is the jack of all trades, master of none when it comes to the shelling types. Depending on which shelling type you want to focus on, the armor sets and switch skills you use will likely vary. And for our last reason to play the Gunlance is because of the switch skill, Blastash. This skill is just so insanely fun and has incredible utility. While the Gunlance is usually a slow weapon where you waddle around the battlefield, Blastash lets you have a high uptime on the monster as you zip around. You're able to Blastash up to 3 times in a row, each dash consuming a single shell. This is made even better by the fact that Blastash can be followed up with a full burst combo. Because it consumes ammo and leads into a full burst combo, this skill naturally plays better into a normal or long shelling playstyle. However, that doesn't change the fact that the whole sequence feels so satisfying, and I'm very excited to see what hype moments come from people utilizing this skill. That concludes our 5 reasons why you should try out the Gunlance. This might be the best iteration of the Gunlance I've had the chance to play, and I can't get enough of it. The mobility the weapon has, along with all the big burst combos, feels so satisfying. Do you think we forgot any reasons why the Gunlance should be played? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this type of video and want to see additional Monster Hunter content in the future, such as builds and guides, make sure you like and subscribe so you can be notified when those videos do go live. But until next time, this is Goober Troy, and remember to squad up and have fun.